you waking up every day feeling like your life is on repeat? You feel like you're constantly going through the motions. You get up, you brush your teeth, you go to work, you eat, get back and watch Netflix, you go to sleep, and you do this every single day and nothing feels like it's standing out. But what if the problem isn't your life? What if it's the way you see it? Now, most people don't know this, but documenting your life can completely change the way you experience it. It makes everyday moments feel exciting and beautiful and meaningful. But a lot of people never start because they think their life is too boring, or they want to document their life but they're afraid to. So in this video today, I'm going to show you why your life definitely is not boring, how to get over the fear, and how you can start documenting your life to completely change it for the better. Let's get into the video. So just to give you a little bit of context about me and why I'm making this video, when I was about 16 years old, I started making lots of YouTube videos. I was just making sort of daily life vlogs about me hanging out with my mates, and it was very amateur, obviously. I really had no idea what I was doing. It was just a bit of fun. I was not heading towards stardom by any means, but it was going well. And I got to university, and then one day I stopped. I quit, and I didn't start up again until, go look at my channel, sort of like when I was about 22 years old. There wasn't really a moment that went by that I didn't regret doing this. But there was so much going on in my life that was such a big distraction. Making YouTube videos and documenting my life just seemed like a waste of time. Upon reflection, I realized that actually it was one of the best things I could have done for myself. I truly regret not documenting those 5 years because there were so many big moments and big life changes in those developing years, and I wish I had those moments logged on video. But the main reasons why I quit documenting my life at 18 years old was, one, I thought my life was too boring, which it wasn't, and two, I was afraid of what other people at university would think of me. I was afraid about what people I went to high school with would think about me, which is so stupid now I look back. But first things first, you're probably watching this video because you think your life is boring, and I'm here to tell you it is not. If you even have the free time and the luxury to watch this YouTube video right now, whether it's on your smartphone, on your laptop, on your TV even, then it means you're doing better than most people on this planet. It means you've got some sort of money coming in, I would assume, and it means you're probably working some sort of job. All of these things together, including where you live, the hobbies you have, even if that's just playing video games and watching TV, the bars you go to, the parks you go to, all of that stuff makes up who you are, and that is really interesting. That makes you unique. There will be someone else on the other side of the planet in a completely different place in their life who would love to watch you document your life. But you live your life every single day. You do the same habits every single day. Maybe you go to the same job every single day, drive the same car every single day, drink the same coffee every single day. And because of this, life starts feeling mundane, and you start to think your life is boring because your brain just gets so used to all of these different habits. But here's where documenting your life comes in and why they're connected. When you take out your camera, whether it's a smartphone or if you have something fancier, great, you start filming your life, you realize that these little moments, like the car you get into and the job you have and the coffee you drink, is actually really cool and really exciting. And sometimes it can take you a while to start to believe that. One thing I absolutely love doing is looking back at some of the old vlogs that I filmed when I was like 17, 18 years old. It shows me in a different stage of my life. I was wearing different clothes, doing different things, had different interests. There's something really beautiful about looking back on those moments in your life. All I'm trying to say is that if you start documenting your life, you're not going to regret it. It's not going to feel like wasted time because you will have logged something down for you to keep for the rest of your life, and that would never be a waste. So let's get into why it's a really good idea to start documenting your life. The first reason being, you'll regret it if you don't. But if you haven't clicked off this video, there's clearly something in you who is interested in seeing what it would be like if you document your life and how that would change your life. And now you have the idea in your head that documenting your life is a really cool thing. When you get that urge to bring out your camera and start filming, but you resist and you go, no, everyone's gonna think I'm cringy for doing that, then you start to regret those moments, and that will keep happening day after day, week after week, month after month, until you sort of wake up at 90 and maybe you're not feeling as healthy as you used to be, and you'll wish you could go back in time and watch clips of you when you're in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s or your 50s, if you're anything like me, you'd regret not having filmed that stuff to have it to keep, because when you capture something, like a video or a photograph, it's a memory you've caught and you get to keep it forever. That in itself is such a valuable thing, but because it's free to do, as long as you've got a camera, everyone gets used to it and nobody thinks it's valuable, which is such a shame. The next reason is that it makes you a better person. Listen to this clip from Joe Rogan.
Live your life like there's a documentary crew following you around and you are analyzing your own behavior. Do what you would want to do so that your kids one day would look back at it and see that documentary and look on it with pride, like, wow.
Now, while it might be exhausting to imagine there's a documentary crew following you around every second of your day, the concept is really important. When you start to imagine your life is a documentary or a movie, you start to think of the finish line. You start to think of the end of your life and how you want to be remembered. And by imagining a documentary crew or a film crew is following you around, this helps you take action on those goals that you said to yourself last month you would work on and you haven't put any effort towards it yet. It helps you to go for that run that you've been putting off for ages. It helps you become a better person and do the things that a version of you in the future would wish you had done. And if we want to take this to the pro level, you could actually get your camera out and film you do those things. And at the end of the day, the worst case scenario is you think it's a bit cringy and you don't post it anywhere and you just maybe keep it for yourself or even delete it. But I wouldn't recommend doing this because basically I deleted loads of my old YouTube videos when I was 18. I really regret doing this now because I would have loved to have seen them. So maybe just keep it in an old hard drive in the back of your cupboard or something like that. The next reason is that life actually becomes more beautiful. But the more you start documenting your life, the more you start to see those tiny little moments that you wouldn't have thought anything of normally, you know, like making a cup of tea. You probably think, oh, that's the most boring thing ever. But then you watch how you do it and how you make a cup of tea and the mug you put it into, what your sort of room looks like while you're making it, what the kitchen looks like while you're making it in that month, in that year, in that stage of your life. And there's so much more there than we even realize, and that can apply to life really. We get so lost in what we want and what we want out of our life and the sort of rat race of trying to make loads of money and be someone that we forget to stop and smell the roses. And yes, I totally understand the argument of life is more beautiful without technology, without our smartphones, but honestly, if you're really serious about documenting your life, you can save up for a nice camera. I'm using the Sony ZV-E10 and you can get this camera for a few $100s off of a second-hand place like eBay or Marketplace. And then you can literally leave the house without your phone and document moments from your life on a really lovely camera. The more you start working with a nice camera, the more you'll sort of look at cinematography and maybe even color grading and editing, and maybe you want to start a YouTube video with little scenes from your life and things like that. And then you've got a new hobby, you've got new skills. Suddenly life becomes more meaningful because you've got all of these new interests that make you more interesting as a person, and your friends and your family and your loved ones, they'll pick up on this. If someone truly loves you, right, they're not going to think what you're doing is cringy. They're going to support you. And by the way, you are enough right now and your life is beautiful now as it is, but I'm just saying that picking up a camera to document this can make it feel even more meaningful. The next point is that going public with your videos is really exciting. Now, this is completely optional. If you don't feel comfortable to share any of you documenting your life, you don't have to at all whatsoever. You can keep it completely private. But if starting a YouTube channel and building an audience is something that you've wanted to do for a while, then I would highly recommend going public with your content, because worst case scenario, you just delete the video. And the other worst case scenario is that nobody watches it. But honestly, as long as you're having fun and enjoying it, who cares really? If you're not doing it for money, then you don't need to worry. And there's a great book called Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. It's all about why artists should show their work and post it publicly, because it just gets you into the habit of making more work, documenting your life even more, which is really good. And this goes on to the next point. It starts creating an audience. You start generating a bit of a fan base of people who like your work. We're not talking about fame here. We're just talking about a really small group of people who respect what you do and find you really interesting. And generating your own audience can be really good from an entrepreneurial stance. It means that you can release a product and they're highly likely to buy it. But the more wholesome reason of building an audience being a good thing is because it feels like a big group of friends. You build this community, and after I've done quite a lot of research in longevity, having a strong sense of community is one of the biggest reasons why we live over 100 years old. Now when you're documenting your life, it's even more exciting because you know you've got this community of like-minded people who love you and love your work and will be excited to see your work, and that's a really cool thing. That's gonna hopefully make you feel excited to get out of bed in the morning, as opposed to how you were feeling before about life being really mundane and boring. You can keep practicing your craft of filming and editing and releasing your work, and also you're building loads of memories while building a great community of friends. It's really cool. And the last tip I'll say, if you find it scary, do it anyway. Honestly, everyone finds it scary. Sometimes I still find it scary. Like while I've been recording this video, I've sort of been thinking to myself, oh, Sam, you're just waffling. This is a terrible video idea. People are gonna hate it. The best practice to do is to respond to it with positive thinking, sort of like, no, I can do this. It is a good idea and I'm gonna be confident in that. Honestly, everyone gets scared to be in front of a camera, to record bits of their life, and especially to post it, but that's no reason why you should not do it, and you should post it anyway, because you'll probably be really proud you did it, and it's highly unlikely you'll regret it. And talking about documenting your life, I also have a free weekly newsletter that's only like a 3 or 4 minute read. You can sign up to it using the link in the description. And finally, if you start documenting your life today, you're gonna realize very quickly that your life isn't as boring as you think it is, and hopefully this will help you realize that your life is actually awesome and it's super meaningful. It will give you that general feeling of excitement and passion and, you know, ready to get stuck into the day. So I'm wondering, have you ever thought about documenting your life? If you have, let me know in the comments below, because taking that first step means you're way more likely to take action on this and follow through with it. And if you enjoyed this video, then go watch this one here. I know you're going to absolutely love it. And if you want to stay in touch with little old me, then hit the subscribe button and maybe even the bell if you're feeling cheeky. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.